What the hell is up, everyone? I'm so stoked to be back for another end of the year special. I guess we can call it Vlogmas because, it is around Christmas time, even though I do kind of carry these vlogs out even past Christmas. But I always do these end of the year vlogs just for fun, just because I enjoy it and I love to express my interests, like my reviews and whatnot on certain music, certain video games, maybe even movies. Like the last couple of years, I've always done either top 5 or top 10 albums of the year. And then back and forth, it's been kind of, top seasons I'm anticipating, top video games of the year, top movies. So, as you know, I love to count down my top 10 albums of every year. And surprisingly, there's been a lot of good releases, like much better, probably much better than the last couple of years, which is kind of hard to say because last year was stellar on releases. I can't lie. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Number 10, Si va passer Parabellum, Caesar. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but that's okay because I'm pretty sure that's French, and I almost failed French in college. So, I want to be real with you. This album was a little underwhelming compared to Poison the Parish because, for me, Poison the Parish was like Caesar's huge comeback. Not to say that their last couple albums beforehand were, I guess, lackluster, because they weren't. They were great. Like, Isolate and Medicate was great, but Poison the Parish was, in my opinion, their peak. Because not only did they return to form, but the songwriting, the quality, all of it was so good. And to hear their follow-up, it just kind of felt like they took a step backwards. Same quality, same Caesar you always knew, but it just felt like it was missing something. Like, truth be told, when Dangerous had first come out, I was not huge on it. It took so long for Dangerous to grow on me. And then, they came out with songs like Beg, and I don't know, there were a couple more of the singles, but personally for me, the non-singles are superior to the singles, because I kind of feel like they did the right thing releasing their weakest tracks as singles, because it's like, I'm still going to give it a chance, and then you go and listen to it, and it's much better than you anticipated. So, still the same Caesar, still the same songwriting formula. Not to say that it's formulaic, but it's still a good album nonetheless. So that is my number 10 spot for this list. Number 9, Song Machine, Season 1 by Gorillaz. Oh my god, when I say that I fucking love new Gorillaz, it's not even exaggerating. I'm not even exaggerating. It's not exaggeration. I don't know how many other ways I can put it, because I fucking love all the shit Gorillaz has been doing for the last couple years. Like, I will admit, Humans was very underwhelming, but it still has some good tracks. The Now Now was crisp. I don't even know if that's a good adjective to use to describe the album, but I fucking loved it. Holy shit. I personally think Song Machine Season 1 is definitely up there in their top 5 of all time. Their top 5, not mine. The fucking day that'll be. Like, I don't know, when Momentary Bliss first came out, I was a little on edge, and then they made Désolé, and what was it, Aries? I fucking love Aries. Pac-Man. Oh my god. Schoolboy Q fits so well in the Pac-Man feature. I cannot stress that enough. I swear to god, every time I hear Schoolboy Q featured in a song, you know it's going to be good. Whether it's Kendrick Lamar or, damn, who else? A$AP Rocky. He features on a good number of A$AP Rocky songs, but to hear him on a Gorillaz track, I think this guy's peaked. No, he hasn't. I'm fucking with you. But, truth be told, yes, this is probably Gorillaz' most experimental album to date. Because if you've seen the list of features that they had on this record, like I said, Schoolboy Q, Elton John, god, there were so many features on this album. Fucking Earth Gang on a 6-minute track, like, it doesn't get more experimental than that. And I think Gorillaz continuously tops themselves with the experimental route. Is this their best record to date? Absolutely not. Is it a good one? Absolutely. I could listen to this all day. I could I could work out to this. I could draw to this. I could drive to it. It's such a perfect album. I cannot stress that enough. So, number 9, Song Machine Season 1 by Gorillaz. Number 8, Blood and Stone by Sevendust. This band continues to get better with each release. Ever since Blackout the Sun, they just continuously get better. And that's the best part about this band. They do not miss. Well, to say that they have a consistent discography, it's a bit of a stretch. Because honestly, after, what was it, Seasons? It was very hit or miss. Like between Seasons and Alpha, and then when Blackout the Sun came out in, I believe it was 2013, that's when they started to go uphill with their quality, with their songwriting, everything. Because honestly, Blackout the Sun was when the metal in them came out. Like how often do metal bands have like the real metal coming out of them? I guess if that's how you want to put it. And then with Kill the Flaw, Thank You from that track was nominated for a Grammy, but it lost to Ghost, unfortunately. And then the next album was when they signed with Rise Records. Blood and Stone. It's just that sign that, they're still on that upstream of improvement. And I love that so much. And I had no idea that the Soundgarden cover was going to be on this album, because I was like, wow, they did so good on this. I can't kid you. This is a good record. This is a good cover. And then the singles following were just so fucking good. Even the non-singles are just perfect, flawless. You can't find a single bad thing about this album. And that's the best part about this band, is that when they start improving, they keep improving, and they don't miss. So, number 8, Sevendust, Blood and Stone. Number 7, Petals for Armor, Hayley Williams. Oh my gosh, why is this so low on my list when I'm one of the biggest fucking Paramore fans out there? I have an After Laughter tattoo, if that tells you anything. But, so I do have a bit of an explanation for why Petals for Armor is so low on this list. So, to tell you the truth, when Simmerhead first came out, I liked it at first, but after a while it just didn't grow on me as well, so I kind of feel terrible saying that because I feel like I let Hayley Williams down. To tell you the truth, Petals Disc 1 was not that appealing to me. Like, Sudden Desire is probably the track that stands out the most, and that's a pretty weak track for the entire album. Like, yeah, Simmer's good. Cinnamon is a good dance number. I can't get behind it when I'm like driving or I'm in the shower or anything. But like, I don't know. I kind of feel like Cinnamon's only good if you're only gonna dance. Like, that's the best time to play Cinnamon. But Petals Disc 1 was, I guess you can say it was a good start, because it wasn't the best way. It wasn't the best one in my opinion. Like I said, this whole list is opinionated, so you can hold me to that. Disc 2 was when, Petals was really starting to look up. Like, Dead Horse is such a good track. How can you not love Dead Horse? I fucking love that song. I never skip it every time it comes on. I believe Why We Ever was on Disc 2 as well. So, that's another one. And personally, in my opinion, Disc 3 was the icing on the cake. Like, Disc 1 and 2 was the cake, and then you have Disc 3, which is the icing on the cake. Personally, that's my most favorite, because, like, how do you do better than that? I don't think any song on the whole record is better than pretty much all the songs on Disc 3, because Watch Me While I Bloom, Sugar on the Rim, and Crystal Clear is such a good closing song. Like, bro, how do you say no to Disc 3? That's the best fucking disc out of Petals for Armor. I cannot stress that enough. As a diehard Paramore fan, I do appreciate and I do applaud Hayley Williams for her efforts to go solo. And at first, when Disc 1 was released, I personally felt like she wasn't distancing herself enough from Paramore. Because, I mean, yeah, she writes the songs for both Paramore and herself. But, a lot of artists, even when they do all the writing for both solo and their bands, you can tell the different atmospheres, the approaches, and whatnot. I didn't necessarily see Hayley Williams take that approach until probably disc 2. But nonetheless, it's a great record. I absolutely recommend it. Even if you don't listen to Paramore, because it's almost nothing like Paramore once you listen to the entirety. So yeah, that's my number 7. Hayley Williams, Petals for Armor. Number 6, Afterburner by Dance Gavin Dance. I don't think Dance Gavin has ever made it on a top list of mine. Nope. Because I didn't start listening to Dance Gavin until like several months after Mothership came out. I have no idea why I didn't include Artificial Selection on my 2018 list. This is probably one of their best records with Tillian. Actually, no, this is one of their best records with Tillian. This and Mothership are very neck to neck, and the other records in between are just almost as good. Maybe some of them are just kind of lackluster, and that's okay. But ever since Tillian has joined Dance Gavin Dance, this band does not fucking miss, bruh. Honestly, when I first heard Prisoner, I knew this was going to be a banger. I knew this was going to take off. I knew this was going to continue their success since recruiting Tillian. And that's probably my most favorite thing about Afterburner, is that they just continuously get better. Like, Prisoner was such a good song. Oh my god. Strawberry's Wake is such a vibe. I cannot stress that enough. I've been saying that a lot for this vlog, but I don't care. Three Wishes. Three Wishes is so good. Like, the video is so cute, the song, everything about Three Wishes is so good. And then when the entire album came out, despite the fact that COVID had stopped all their plans of touring and whatnot, Calentamiento Global es mi favorita. God damn it. Oh my god. How do you not vibe to the song? Who cares if Tillian does not pronounce the words like they're supposed to? Who cares if you can tell that he's not fluent in Spanish? This is such a good song. And then the rest of the record onward is just so good. Into the Sunset. Nothing Shameful. Bro. This is the entire fucking bakery I'm talking about in Dance Gavin Dance's discography. It's not just the cake, it's not just the icing, it's the whole fucking bakery. And that's what I love about Afterburner, is that they bring the old and the new, and you have the entire bakery. So there you go. Number 6, Dance Gavin Dance, Afterburner. Number 5, Manic by Halsey. Woo! When I say this is probably her most experimental effort to date, I am not exaggerating. Like, yeah, she's a pop star from the alternative scene. We'll give you that. But she's also an artist. She's a great fucking artist. When the first time I heard Badlands, I was like, this artist is going to take off. She is going to take off and take over the fucking world. And she did when Badlands released. Hopeless Fountain Kingdom. So good. And then you have Manic. Bro, Halsey does not miss. I absolutely loved Graveyard. Even though you hear it everywhere. Like commercials. YouTube ads. Same fucking thing. You hear Graveyard like played everywhere. Finally Beautiful Stranger. Such a lovely ballad. You Should Be Sad.
I am fucking sad, but I love this song.
But this is absolutely her most experimental album to date. With Finally Beautiful Stranger, you have an acoustic ballad. You have the same thing, but with a little more fast-paced on You Should Be Sad. 3 a.m. is absolutely my most favorite track from Manic. Because it feels like a 90s punk record. It feels like you woke up in the 90s and started listening to a cover band of No Doubt. And that's not to say a bad thing, because No Doubt kicked ass back in the day. And the fact that she can match that same energy with 3 a.m. Whew. Like I said, Halsey does not miss. And honestly, the entire record is just an entire monsoon of emotions. One minute you're feeling happy, the next you're feeling sad. There's so much energy shifts in this record. Like, you can tell that she put her heart and soul into this, as a lot of artists do with records that they put out. But this one, it hits a lot differently. But that's not to say it's a bad thing. That's my number 5 spot. Manic by Halsey. Number 4, After Hours by The Weeknd. Oh my gosh. You've heard Blinding Lights played everywhere. and at some point you just get sick and fucking tired of hearing that song. Me, absolutely not. I love hearing Blinding Lights played everywhere. I love hearing Heartless played other places as well. Honestly, like, The Weeknd has been non-fucking stop since Beauty Behind the Madness. Not to say that Kissland was not a good record, but, you know, Beauty Behind the Madness and onward is when he turned into a fucking freight train and just plowed the competition ahead of him. Like, there is no stopping The Weeknd. And that's my favorite part about the artist, about this artist in particular, is that, yeah, he might just sound like your stereotypical R&B artist. Not to me. This guy knows how to write a fucking record. So yeah, you've heard Blinding Lights everywhere, but let's talk about the other songs, the other singles. Heartless, you know, it's got such a good fucking beat. And it's so good. Like, he shifts between rapping and singing. That's my favorite part about it. And then you have In Your Eyes, the After Hours title track. What else? Honestly, Until I Bleed Out was a little underwhelming, but it's a good closer. Especially if you're fucking depressed like I have been all this year. So that's definitely a good closer for this record. But Too Late's another good one. Scared to Live, such a good track. Snow Child. The video for Snow Child was so breathtaking. Because I had no idea there was a black-owned anime studio in Japan. My personal favorite from After Hours is Escape from LA. Such a soothing track, like just 5-6 minutes of just pure soothing instrumental singing. Honestly, no song puts me at ease on that record like Escape from LA, and that's my favorite part. But yeah, that's my number 4 spot for this list, After Hours by The Weeknd. Number 3, Post-Human Survival Horror by Bring Me the Horizon. Yo, who the fuck would have ever thought that, you know, these guys would come back with the heavy shit. There's so much fucking energy in this record that, you know, it would make you forget that the previous records beforehand had ever existed. Not for me though. I love all Bring Me the Horizon, old and new. You know, Post-Human Survival Horror, you know, it's a bit of a back and forth with going back to their roots, continuing with the experimentation of what they've done with the last 2 records. I love it. I absolutely love it. Because, like, the Dear Diary is such a good opening track. It gets you pumped up for the album. Why am I saying album? It's just an EP, but...
Bro, 9 songs is not a fucking EP. Get that shit out of here.
But I was really stoked to hear that Mick Gordon had co-produced this record. Because... if you're not familiar with Mick Gordon, he's done the production. He's done the composition, not production, for the 2016 Doom game and the sequel Doom Eternal. Those are probably some of the best video game compositions I've heard to date. And the fact that he got to work with a band like Bring Me the Horizon was just so good. I cannot stress that enough. Parasite Eve was such a good track. Obey. I would have never expected Youngblood to be able to scream like he did. And that's my favorite part. Is that, you know, you hear an artist like Youngblood. I'm not sure what his genre is because I don't listen to him. But if you do, please educate me. Just the idea of him on a metal track with Bring Me the Horizon. I was very impressed. I was pleased with how he took off with this feature, and then the rest of the EP. I keep trying to prevent myself just from saying album because it's apparently an EP, but like I said,
9 songs is not a fucking EP.
This EP is so good. Like when you listen to it back to front to back, not back to front because that's just a weird order. Front to back, you're continuously impressed. You can't get enough of it. And that's probably my favorite. This is probably my favorite thing about Post-Human Survival Horror, is that it takes you back to what they used to be, but it keeps the experimentation. So you get the best of both worlds. And either way, you're satisfied. Unless you just don't like Bring Me the Horizon in general, which is okay.
No, it's not.
This was a really good way to, you know, keep the old and the new and bring everyone together. That's my favorite part. So, yes, number 3, Post-Human Survival Horror by Bring Me the Horizon. Number 2, Use Me by Paris. Whew. You remember when I was talking about how bands don't miss when they improve? Well, here's the thing. Paris has improved since day fucking one. They have not missed since putting out White Noise. Like, White Noise was one of my favorite records of 2014, even though I didn't listen to it until after it came out. And then 2017's All We Know of Heaven, All We Need of Hell. So good. The Hallucinations EP last year. I was honestly expecting that just to be music on its own. But you know how a lot of artists are. They carry some of their EP songs onto their albums. For this instance, I'm going to let that pass just because, honestly, Use Me is nothing, absolutely nothing like the Hallucinations EP. Which is great. Because sometimes when artists feature those same songs on an EP, on an album, they're usually produced differently, they sound differently. It's not necessarily the case with Use Me, but they're such good songs. How could you pass those up? So, I'm going to be real with you. When I first heard Deadweight, I was a little conflicted because, personally, I just felt like Lynn had strayed completely, entirely away from the rock sound that they had always incorporated, even up to this day. But I went back, listened to it a couple of times. I was pleased. I was very satisfied with the route that they took for this. You know, songs like Give Me a Minute. Honestly, the entire record is just amazing. I love it. Probably my favorite track from Use Me is Stay Gold. I love Stay Gold. Good to Be Alive. Wish You Well is a good one. And then they decided to put out a deluxe edition like not even 2 months later. Thank You was a good track, and then the rest of the record is just remixes of songs from the Hallucinations EP, which is okay. They're just not my favorite. But yes, Use Me, such a good record, front to back. There are absolutely no skips.
I'm kidding, because I cannot stand the song Loveless.
It's so good. You can't get enough of this record once you listen to it. And that's my favorite. I always love that when you go and listen to a record once, and then that's it. You cannot get enough of the record. So, Use Me by Paris is my number 2 spot. All right, you guys ready for the end game?
Did I just reference Marvel Cinematic Universe?
All right, let's do a grand drum roll for the number 1 spot on my list. Number 1, Wake Up Sunshine by All Time Low. Yes, this is my record of the year. I love this record. I love it. I've played it non-stop since it came out. This has been my serotonin boost all year during this pandemic. I'm not afraid to admit that because honestly, this year's been pretty shit. And the one record to get me through it all has been Wake Up Sunshine by All Time Low. When I first heard Some Kind of Disaster, I was expecting this record to be a lot more melancholic compared to what they have released before. But then they released tracks like Sleeping In, Getaway, Green, Melancholy Kaleidoscope.
Hey, the irony there.
What else did they put out? The Wake Up Sunshine soundtrack? Not soundtrack, title track. That was great. I loved it. It's not often that, you know, a band like All Time Low just absolutely captures my attention. Because I'm going to be real with you, I did start listening to them until Last Young Renegade had came out. Because I was just in dire need of some more, I guess, pop punk that didn't have predatory allegations surrounding their career. And I've yet to hear anything about Alex Kiske or any of the others. So I think
I'm in the clear with that.
So, you know, like I said, I didn't start listening to All Time Low until Last Young Renegade. I'm very pleased with their discography. And even today, like, holy shit, bro, this band does not fucking miss. They're so heavily underrated. Like, you don't hear about them that often. You don't hear their songs played in commercials, in TV. You honestly don't. Not as much as you would now, I suppose. But, you know, Wake Up Sunshine has been my serotonin boost for for this year. And I would fucking die on that hill because front to back, it's flawless. It's perfect. You absolutely cannot get enough of it. So, number 1, Wake Up Sunshine by All Time Low. And there you have it. That is my top 10 albums of the year. Now I want to hear your list of your top records of this year. Let me know in the comments. Please remember to subscribe, hit the like button, ring that bell, because I'm going to do my best to be uploading more often. I'll even drop the link to my gaming channel in the description, because I still have so much planned for my gaming channel. You'll see in the coming weeks, maybe in the coming new year. So thanks. Have a good day, guys.